Well, happy Pride, everybody, and thank you all for being here. 45 years ago, on a hot summer night in New York City, the New York Police Department raided the Stonewall Inn. And the drag queens and the butch dykes had had enough. They fought back, and 3 nights of rioting ensued. And that was the start of the modern gay rights movement. In 1981, Jerry Falwell and the moral majority planned a trip to Columbus. They were going to organize their next enclave and stronghold here in Columbus, Ohio. Well, that didn't work out, and Stonewall Union was founded to fight that effort. The following spring, a handful of brave souls, many in disguises or with bags on their head, took to the streets of Columbus to celebrate our very first Columbus Gay Pride. In the mid-'80s, Columbus City Council chamber was filled with hate-filled zealots bussed in from outlying churches in our first attempt to pass employment non-discrimination. That ordinance went down to defeat. In 1988, Columbus City Council passed the ethnic intimidation ordinance, including sexual orientation, and that was the first piece of LGBT inclusive legislation passed in Columbus. From that day forward, every time we have gone to our city officials with an inclusive piece of legislation, it has passed. Now, it's 2014, and we stand here with our elected officials celebrating LGBTQI Pride. Columbus is well known as a city that is open and welcoming to all of our LGBTQ residents and visitors. Columbus plays host to one of the largest Pride celebrations in the country. But lest we forget, while we are celebrating our community, Pride is also about demanding our rights and fighting for our inclusion. For as good, in fact, as great as Columbus is, remember that the state of Ohio offers no protection for LGBTQI people. None. The leadership of Columbus shows us that we want to make Columbus truly the best city in Ohio for LGBTQ people to live, to work, and to raise a family. The efforts that have gotten us here are in large part due to the hard work of our LGBT residents and the leadership and the courage of our elected officials. Mayor Mike Coleman has been and remains our champion. He is committed to inclusion, fairness, and equality. I am proud of our city. I am proud of our mayor. I am proud that he is my mayor. He is your mayor. He is our mayor. Please welcome Mayor Mike Coleman.
Thank you, Chris. And you know that made me feel good when the notes flew away and you spoke from your heart. Thank you for that. It means a lot to me. Chris is a member of my cabinet and has been for as long as I've been mayor, I think. Pretty close. And I appreciate her advice, her support, and I also appreciate the support of over the years of the LGBTQ community. Carla Rotham, who is here today, Dwayne Stewart, Brandon Chapman. I also thank all of you for your ongoing and continued support. So here we are. We're kicking off Pride in Columbus, Pride Week and Pride Weekend in Columbus. One of the biggest weekends in our city every year. We have people coming from all over the nation to our great city because our city is such a progressive city and a city that is as welcoming as any in the nation. We've been recognized for that for many years now, and something I'm very proud about during Pride Week and every week of the year. So during Pride Week in the city of Columbus, we're going to celebrate something special this year, and that is marriage equality. We celebrate marriage equality because even though we have not yet won it in the state of Ohio, we are on the path to winning it and will win it in our state. It's coming. It's coming. And I have said that my time as mayor will not be complete until such time as I perform an equality marriage in our city. And one of my goals as mayor is to be the first mayor, the very first mayor to do so. So we're winning in courts all across the country, and more importantly, we're winning in the hearts and minds of the American people. This is going to come, and we want it to come sooner than later. And so my prediction is, and I'm predicting now, it's a political statement, by the inauguration of the next president of the United States, we will have full marriage equality in the state of Ohio. We'll either get it done in the courts of law or the ballot, or possibly even with both. And when we win, it will be a direct result of the courage and the tenacity and the pride of the LGBTQ community. We're grateful for your tenacity on this, and I stand with you 150%. And so also in celebration of this week, this very important time where we recognize and focus on this very important issue of our city, our state, and indeed our nation, we're going to light up City Hall. And we're going to light it up to the beautiful rainbow colors. And look at it now. Isn't it beautiful? We do this in honor of pride in our LGBT community. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm going to call up Carla Rothman in a minute, in addition, we are going to name Broad Street during this week Equality Lane. Equality Lane in the city of Columbus. We're going to put this on Broad and High, and I want us to take pictures out there. I think it's out there right now, in fact. We already put it up! This is a facsimile of what is already up there. And I put it up last night myself. And I changed the light bulbs at City Hall last night as well. So this is something we're very proud of in our community. Let's all hold it up together. Equality Lane. Let's bring Roth, Carla.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming out tonight and, of course, joining in our celebration of the 33rd Annual Pride Festival and March. This year's theme is Created Equal. We know that in the state of Ohio, we are far from treated equally. However, we can't say that about Franklin County. Our Grand Marshal, Japanese-American actor and activist George Takei will arrive this weekend to celebrate with us. He has a compelling story. As a 5-year-old boy, he and his family were faced by soldiers carrying bayonets who ordered them out of their home and into a camp for Japanese Americans during World War II. Our Grand Marshal learned at an early age that this is an unjust world, and he has spent his entire life creating change. George's greatest hero was his father, who taught him a very valuable lesson. Both the strength and the weakness of American democracy is in fact that it is a people's democracy. And it can be as great as people can be, but it also as fallible as people are. In Columbus tonight, we celebrate how great our mayor is and our city leadership is. and we value the positive example they have set for our whole nation of leaders. We are lucky to live in Columbus, Ohio, and we are grateful that the LGBT community can feel right at home, right here on the corner of Equality Lane and Front Street. Now, we already had Gay Street, so this is really over the top, Mayor. But we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we want to ask all of you to come out and celebrate with us this weekend. And I'll end on that. Thank you.
And so, Dwayne Stewart from Urban Pride. Urban Pride, yes.
Thank you, Mayor Michael Coleman and the City of Columbus for always being a place where LGBT people can be accepted and affirmed in Columbus, Ohio. 3 years ago, a community of leaders, we met in Zanzibar, the King Lincoln District, where we knew that there was a need that needed to be met in our community. HIV was on the rise, suicide, homelessness, unemployment were all disproportionately and still disproportionately affect the LGBT people of color community. We knew in order to start creating systemic change, we needed to begin working together. So we started Columbus Urban Pride, an organization that offered spaces to celebrate racial diversity within the LGBT community. The first year we saw about 200 to 300 people attend, and this year we're expecting nearly 5,000. Columbus has become a place where the LGBT community thrives. But at the intersection of the gay rights movement and the civil rights movement, there's often been turmoil, confusion, and sometimes rejection. Columbus Urban Pride seeks to offer a place of healing and a safe place where we can bridge this gap. This Thursday, we are taking on the very daunting task of bridging the gap between the Black church and the LGBT community. We will convene a panel of pastors on both sides of this issue to begin a healing conversation. We hope that you all will join us at the Columbus State Community College Center for Workforce Development on Thursday at 6 p.m. It will be a conversation you don't want to miss. The Columbus Community Relations Commission and the Columbus State Community College Office of Global Equity are gracious sponsors in this endeavor. There are several other events that have been created specifically to celebrate racial diversity in the LGBT community. Stonewall Columbus, the Ohio State University Multicultural Center, Trans Ohio, Tracks Columbus, the Greater Columbus Empowerment Center, Why Marriage Matters, and Equality Ohio are all organizations that are supporting our mission this year, and we hope that you'll all do the same. Columbus Urban Pride stands on the shoulders of activists like Bayard Rustin, James Baldwin, Audre Lorde, and Sylvia Rivera. They each left a legacy of full equality, even at the intersections of multiple marginalized identities. Today, I attend this event with my partner, Lawrence. Just 20 years ago, standing with my male partner at City Hall with the mayor was something I didn't think I could ever fathom as a Black gay man. It's truly a blessing to know that our city leaders also celebrate racial diversity in the LGBT community. We've come so far, but we definitely have a long way to go. Transgender women of color are still the #1 target for hate crimes. Black gay men are still at the height of HIV infection rate in our country. But I believe